Hold on to your hats, folks, because the trade war drums are beating once more. That's right, former President Trump, in a move that surprised absolutely no one, has slapped new tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China. These tariffs, which went into effect on February 2, 2025, are like a bad sequel to a movie nobody wanted to see. This isn't Trump's first rodeo with tariffs, and it probably won't be his last. Remember the steel and aluminum tariffs a few years back? Yeah, this has a similar ring to it. But this time, the stakes are even higher, and the potential for economic chaos is off the charts. So, what's Trump's justification for this latest trade tantrum? Well, according to the former president, it's all about national security. Yes, you heard that right. Apparently those Canadian maple syrups and Mexican avocados pose a grave threat to the American way of life. Trump declared a national economic emergency, citing concerns about illegal drugs and undocumented immigrants. He claims that these tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and businesses, but critics are calling foul, arguing that these tariffs are nothing more than a political stunt designed to appeal to Trump's base. These aren't just some symbolic tariffs, folks. These are the real deal, and they're gonna hurt. The tariffs on Mexican imports are a whopping 25% across the board. That means everything from avocados to auto parts just got a whole lot more expensive. Canada didn't get off easy either. They're facing a 25% tariff on most goods and a 10% tariff on energy products. And China? Well, they're already dealing with a mountain of tariffs, and Trump just piled on another 10%. Canada and Mexico weren't about to take this lying down. They responded with retaliatory tariffs of their own, targeting key American exports. Canada slapped a 25% tariff on $155 billion worth of U.S. goods, including alcohol, produce, clothing, and lumber. Mexico hasn't released the specifics of its retaliatory tariffs yet, but they've promised that the U.S. will feel the pain. They're considering both tariffs and non-tariff measures, which could include things like increased inspections and regulations on American goods. Section 5. Not cool, man, says Trudeau. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, never one to mince words, slammed Trump's tariffs as unjustified and unacceptable. Trudeau pointed out that Canada is a close ally of the United States and a major trading partner. Trudeau also highlighted Canada's significant investments in border security, arguing that tariffs are not the way to address concerns about illegal immigration or drug trafficking. Section 6. The economic fallout. Brace yourselves. Economists are warning that these tariffs could have a devastating impact on the economies of all three countries. The tariffs are expected to lead to higher prices for consumers, supply chain disruptions, and job losses. Industries that rely heavily on cross-border trade, such as the automotive, energy, and agriculture sectors, are particularly vulnerable, and consumers, as usual, will end up footing the bill for this trade war. Section 7. American businesses cry foul. It's not just foreign governments that are unhappy about these tariffs. American businesses are fuming, arguing that the tariffs will hurt their bottom line and cost American jobs. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the National Taxpayers Union, and a whole host of industry groups have condemned the tariffs. They argue that the tariffs will raise prices for businesses and consumers, disrupt supply chains, and make American products less competitive globally. Section 8. China takes it to the WTO ring. China, no stranger to trade disputes with the United States, has filed a complaint with the World Trade Organization over the new tariffs. China argues that the tariffs violate WTO rules and are detrimental to global trade. In addition to the WTO complaint, China has also promised to retaliate with countermeasures of its own. The specifics of these countermeasures are still unclear, but they could include tariffs on American goods, restrictions on American companies operating in China, or even a boycott of American products. Section 9. Trade War Deja Vu, a familiar tune. This whole trade war saga feels eerily familiar, doesn't it? That's because we've been here before. In 2018, Trump imposed tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from Canada, Mexico, and other countries, sparking a series of retaliatory tariffs and a trade war that dragged on for months. The 2018 trade war caused economic damage on all sides, and this latest round of tariffs is likely to do the same. It seems like Trump is determined to repeat the mistakes of the past, even if it means hurting the American economy in the process. Section 10. Will cooler heads prevail? So what's next for this trade war? Will it escalate further, or will cooler heads prevail? The situation is still very fluid, but one thing is clear: nobody wins in a trade war. Hopefully the leaders of these countries can come to their senses and negotiate a solution that benefits everyone. But if history is any guide, we're in for a bumpy ride.